All right, injuries today. All right, D Ford won't practice. Sherm, we're having all walkthrough today, but Sherm will be full go. Tart will not practice. Julian Taylor will not practice. K1's out of the protocol, so he's full go now. And Persons will be limited with the neck, sore neck.
Sherman and K1 are good to go, you said?
Yes.
Is the Sherman, I mean, does that surprise you at this point? How quickly
No, I
he's-
mean, we'll see out there. I mean, Sherm's been better since he got in the locker room at New Orleans, according to him. And because he has that mindset is what gives him a chance to be better. So I know our trainers feel good with letting him go out today. It'll be a walkthrough and stuff. So, but we'll be able to test that a little bit more tomorrow.
Where's Jaquaski Tart at in his recovery?
Just day to day. I'm just still waiting on his ribs to recover. Feels a lot closer than last week, but not good enough to go today. Give him a chance tomorrow.
What's the situation with Kwon Alexander? Can he come back like in January?
He can. Yeah, he can come back. Not to get you tweeting that out right away, and everyone's so all right. Okay. And it would be awesome if he could, but I mean it's a really big injury, and that would be down the road. So there would be an outside chance at it, but we haven't ruled it out.
Kendrick said on his Instagram that Kwon told him that he's coming back.
That's what I heard. That's why I was ready for your guys' question. Oh, Kwon, yeah, Kwon. I mean, he's same as Sherman. Kwon thought he could have came back the next week. You know, they're made of the right stuff, and when you think that way, even though it's your mind, sometimes your body will follow. And so we won't rule it out, but it's a long shot, and it's not anytime soon. Now I'll let you guys tweet it out.
So Kyle, just in terms of how everybody's getting over this loss on Sunday, what do you see out of them? I mean, George was saying this better light a fire under them. Are you seeing that now as you start the week? And
yeah, I mean, today's the first day I saw him. You know, when you're on a short week, you know, yesterday felt like 2 days for us, but it's kind of good when it's something like that. You don't have much time to dwell over it. You know, like I said after the game, we tip our hats off to Atlanta, but we got to play a lot better on all three phases. Got to play better, got to coach better, and you watch the tape and we know we can. So it's just about doing it. And yeah, it was disappointing to lose. There was an opportunity that we had that we missed, but it is, and you address that, and and it's pissed us off for a while. But the neat thing about today is, after you go through it for 24 hours, you get to talk to the team. It's neat to be able to say to the team, but guys, last week before we played them, we controlled our own destiny. And it was a tough loss that we feel we were good enough to win and didn't get it done, but we still control our own destiny. So we can't sit and harp on that too long. We made the correct mistakes, but we've got to go out there and play good football on Saturday.
Seems like one of the hallmarks of the offense throughout the season has been the ability to spread the ball around and find a bunch of different pass catchers, get them going. What happened on Sunday that prevented you guys from spreading the ball around like you typically would?
Yeah, it was more, some of the coverages they were playing. We wanted to go to George. We liked the matchups. They did a number of man coverage, and we didn't feel like they were taking away George that much. When they do, you get to number 2 and stuff. I thought they did a real good job progressing. So a lot of our concepts kind of turned into they did a good job rushing, which makes it tough to progress to number 2 and number 3, which makes it a one-man show a lot. But it was more everybody. George got most of the play calls and stuff. The other guys did too, but they had some bad luck on it. And when things were good, we had a couple drops. When it wasn't that, it might have been a protection issue. But usually it's not like that. We don't always want it to be like that. But we also don't mind if we get the win done. And we thought we had a chance to, but that wasn't why we lost.
How much, in New Orleans, pull out a double reverse receiver pass, a read option from a fullback. How conscious of you were trying to be conservative in this game, whether it be keeping guys healthy or
yeah, it's never about keeping guys. You keep guys healthy because you don't want guys to get hurt, but that game was everything in my mind. I felt that way all week. You call plays based off what you think it takes to win. You guys, the plays you're talking about that we probably saw a record of them in the New Orleans game. It seemed pretty important to pull those off to win, and definitely didn't feel as strongly about that during the Atlanta game, especially when we have a 19-10 lead with 8 minutes to go. I don't feel the need to be as aggressive on some of those things, and I think we did what we needed to do to win, but we obviously didn't get it done.
Talked about length last week, but beyond that, your respect for that system or that type of defense. Why you brought Salah? Why you want to go to Atlanta? Is that I mean, still, and people, so I'm basing it on Sunday's game. I mean, is that still like a tough nut to crack, so to speak?
No, I mean, I think we're all pretty used to it. I mean, we've gone against that system a lot here, even this year, and didn't look a lot like that system on Sunday. They did a lot. They made a ton of adjustments, stuff that we were expecting going in, and but you're always going to see something new. But it's a foundation for all these teams. But every team who runs that system doesn't run it the exact same way they used to. Everyone's had to expand as people get more used to it, and Elena's done a good job of that over the last half of the year.
There are going to be Pro Bowl announcements later today. Do you prefer a lot of guys get recognized, or would you like a few guys get snubbed so you can kind of use that as fuel?
I mean, I would love anything that gets guys to play better, but the Pro Bowl doesn't mean much in terms of anything for the team or anything what it does for the team. But I think it's really cool for those guys. And so I want everyone to get a Pro Bowl vote who deserves it. And I think we got a lot of guys who deserve it. But I try to tell them, don't put too much into it, because not everyone who deserves to go to the Pro Bowl goes to the Pro Bowl. So it's very, and some people do, so I'm not taking away that also. But I'm really happy for guys if it happens, because a number of guys deserve it. But those guys also better not be too upset if it doesn't happen, because it's not guaranteed for them, even if they deserve it.
Before kind of the trickle-down effect of some of the injuries, particularly on the defensive line going back, how have you seen that kind of hamper what the defense has done over the last few weeks?
I mean, I think the obvious answer in terms of the less depth you have, the more reps people take, and the more reps people take, they can't go as hard for every time they're in. And so I think guys do wear down a little bit with that. It's something you fully expect this time of year as the year goes. But it does add up. We do got some more guys coming back, but this is what happens when these injuries happen, and the type of game. Hopefully we can get in a game where we can rotate the guys better despite who's out there. But that happens with everyone. The more you're out there, the more you wear down. But it's time to go. There's not a lot of time left anyways.
How did you think Solomon did with a bigger role of playing in there?
I thought he did his job. I definitely thought he did his job. He wasn't out of place at all. Every time they got to his gap, he was holding it. But nobody across the board made any game-changing plays. And that's what we needed there at the end, especially, we gave Matt Ryan and Julio a few too many chances, and those guys are too good to get that many chances.
How did Garland handle his first start at center?
I thought Garland in both this game and a half that he's played, he's done a real good job. He's done a real good job getting to the second level. He's done a real good job getting out on our screens and stuff, and he's stepped it up well.
When you watch the Rams, what makes them so difficult?
They're very talented. They're very well coached. I think over this last month they've been playing as good as football as anyone in this league. I think until the Sunday game got a little out of hand, but they had a top 10 offense, a top 10 defense before that. They have a very good special team. So talent and coaching.
You guys went from being the underdog at the beginning of the season to now very much having a target on your back. Keller Witherspoon on Sunday said the character of this team has not wavered no matter what. How do you continue to keep these guys even keeled?
I think we got smart guys who put things in perspective. Target's always on your back no matter how good you do. Just you're as good as your last game. And it'll be that for every team in the NFL, all 32 teams until the end of the year. And I talk about it a lot, but if you've been in this league, you pretty much realize that only one team is happy at the end of the year, no matter what happens. And usually it's the team that wins the last game. So that's what we got to make sure that happens. I think our guys realize that. There are a lot of ebb and flows throughout the year, but we know we've worked all year just to get to this point we're at, and that's what we're pumped to be at right now.
Well, you guys reportedly put in a claim for Terrell Suggs. Is that obviously a function of those injuries, specifically to D Ford?
We just thought he would help us. A good pass rusher out there who's a vet, could help a lot of teams, and we would definitely have preferred for him to help us over people we have to go against.
You guys have, at the start of the season, you were having a lot of success forcing turnovers, getting sacks, and the last 3 weeks you've only had 3 and only 1 turnover in each of the last 4 games. How much of that do you attribute to attrition and the injuries you've had on the defensive side of the ball? Anytime you miss people, it definitely gets harder. But that's, as every single person says when someone asks them that question, that's not an excuse. It doesn't put that in the win-loss column. The more we have had people out, I think the chances of turnovers does go down. But
But if we want to win, we got to find ways to create them. And hopefully our guys can get going and create some more. And if not, we got to do some schematically. But it's tough to win when you don't get turnovers, and we got to make sure we find a way to do it.
All right, good. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.